Welcome into a special edition episode of Tribal Council Chat. As always, we are your hosts. My name is Bruce Heller.
And my name's Brett Parnell, but this is our annual Stanley Cup Chat.
Yes, we are both huge hockey fans. Me a little bit more, I think, ironically, even though he's the Canadian one.
I
But
think that is ironic, seeing that I'm more of a soccer fan than a hockey fan, but
yeah, fair. But this is our playoff preview. My Blues are not in it this year, so this isn't as fun for me as when we did this last season.
yeah.
But like I said, I'm rooting for the Senators because of you and because your captain is from St. Louis and his dad played for the Blues. I'm
I
also
appreciate
very
that. Go
firmly on
Sens,
the
go.
I'm also very firmly on the train of anyone but the Avs winning the whole thing. So,
I'm also just going to let everybody know, in case they haven't heard it yet on Tribal Council Chat, that I am out in the middle of the Caribbean passing Cancun, Mexico right now on a cruise ship. So if the Wi-Fi isn't good, I apologize, but we'll make the best of what we have because I'll be in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico tomorrow when the playoffs start.
yeah, so what Brett's basically saying is that there's a high chance that a sea monster makes an appearance on our episode. I think
Not
that's
a
what I'm
sea
hearing.
monster.
What?
Not a sea monster, just bad Wi-Fi.
Well, what if there's a sea monster in the waters right over the rail from you?
It could happen.
It could.
There could also be some champagne.
Well, that's expected.
You all know I love my wine.
Is champagne a type of wine? I thought it was its own thing.
It's just a wine that's grown in a certain region of France.
Oh, interesting. I always thought it was like its own division of drink. Okay, I'm smart, I guess. Okay, well, we'll start out west. The aforementioned
Ooh.
Avs in my anyone winning but the Avs bandwagon I'm on. And admittedly, they've been a wagon this year. They're the President's Trophy winners. Their
Yeah,
roster stacked. They're playing the second wild card LA Kings, and I hate to say this series isn't going to be close.
yeah, this won't be close. I hate to say it too for now, but Colorado will win this, and I think it'll be a sweep.
Oh, it's going to be four. But hey, LA fans, that's four extra games you get to watch your team play that I don't have. So at least be happy
Fair
for that.
enough.
Even though McKinnon and McCarr and Natchez and their whole roster is just going to run roughshod over you. But, oh well. Gosh.
I mean, playoff hockey is better than no playoff hockey. It's one of the most fun times of the year. So
It's the best
LA,
playoffs in sports, but
but
when the best team in the league is a team that like is very close to being my least favorite team in the league, I really just don't want them to win the whole thing.
are
But
they
the
not your
President's
favorite
Trophy
team?
winner very rarely does. So,
That's true. Ottawa's been a President's Trophy winner, and I've never seen them win a cup.
hmm. Have they ever won one just in general?
Not since 1927.
Oh, well, that's not good.
Well, we didn't have a team between 1928 and 1992.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. When we won it, it was the in 19. It was the longest a team has ever gone before winning their first cup.
Oh, wow.
Because
I did
we
not know that.
came into the league in 67 and we won it in 19.
So you came into the league the last year that Toronto won the Stanley Cup. Just throwing that out there.
I think they won it and then we came into the league the next year. So they would have won it in summer of 67. Our first year started in that fall, I believe.
Just another reason why I like your team.
But yeah. And so Colorado, they're going to the next round. They will face because of the stupid playoff format that Bettman put into place, that is, instead of just going 1 through 8 in each conference like it used to, it's the top 3 in each division, and then 2 wild cards in
Yep.
the conference playoffs are separated by division, as you know. We have
Yep.
a playoff matchup here that's 2 Central Division teams that would normally be the 2 and 3 seed in the West. I just want to point out
Oh,
how
wow.
dumb that is. We've
That is
known
dumb.
this matchup is coming for 6 months. We've got Dallas and Minnesota here.
Yep.
What do you
What are you
thinking
going
here?
for? I'm going Minnesota in 5.
I have Minnesota in 6, and Dallas is a higher seed, but they're beat up and they're injured. Minnesota's never looked better. They've got Quinn Hughes.
Yep.
Like, they're rolling, and they've got good goalies.
I agree.
I mean, Dallas has
Minnesota, I
Ottinger.
think,
He's a
is
great goalie, but
maybe a spoiler alert, but Minnesota, I think, is the favorite this year.
yeah, we'll see. I have them pulling something in the next round, but
Nice.
we move down to the Pacific.
The weakest division in the league.
McDavid called the fight for the Pacific a pillow fight, which is kind of accurate.
Hey, yeah, that's totally accurate.
Ottawa made it in the last. Um, you guys got the last possible. No, you guys got the. No, you are wild card 2. I thought you were wild card 1 for a second.
No, we were wild card 1, and then we stopped trying.
But you guys got the last possible spot in the Eastern Conference at 99 points, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Vegas won their division and has 95. LA's the second wild card with 90. That would have been like 6th place in the wild card race out east, I believe.
Yep, that's right.
Like the West is top heavy. They've got the top 3 teams in the league, but beyond Colorado, Dallas, Minnesota, the West sucks this year.
Do they ever?
Vegas and Utah, though, and Utah's got an awesome logo, cool colors. They've got some good players out in Utah. They've got Clayton Keller, their captain, who's from St. Louis and can turn it on. Logan Cooley's good. I think Dylan Guenther scored 40 goals this year. I don't think they beat Vegas.
I agree. I'm going to go for Vegas, but I'm going to go Vegas in 7.
I have Vegas in 5. Just they normally turn it on this time of year.
Nice.
Then again, I had them going to the finals last time, and they lost to Edmonton in the second round. So we'll
Fair
see.
enough.
Speaking of our last first round playoff out west, is those Edmonton Oilers versus a team that I did not have guessed at all was a playoff team coming into the season with the Anaheim Ducks.
Yeah, neither did I.
Like, they're a fun young team. Like, they traded for Trevor Zegras from Philadelphia. They've got Jacob Trouba that they got in a trade with the Rangers, I think, last season.
They are a fun young team. I don't think it's this year is their year.
No.
I think they probably, I mean, it scares me to say it because I'm still traumatized, but I think that maybe an Anaheim-Ottawa final is looking the way in about 3-4 years.
Oh, geez. Yeah, I've got Edmonton in 6 here. Anaheim's the fun story. Edmonton has McDry. They have McDavid and Draisaitl. And I don't think Anaheim has an answer for either of those 2 guys.
I agree with you completely. I also have Edmonton in 6.
And Edmonton's not as good as they were the last couple of years, but they're good enough to beat Anaheim.
That's right.
So how do we want to do this? Do we want to go out east or finish the west up to the finals?
Let's go east.
Okay, so in the Atlantic Division, we have the division champions ending their 14-year playoff drought. And I've thought for a while Buffalo would be in the playoffs. I can't believe, the fact they won this division is wild to me.
Yeah, so much
what a story.
there, and
Lindy Ruff coming back.
Coming first.
I, I think last year, maybe the year before, Lindy Ruff coming back after being their coach forever ago, and now look like that guy's got to be coach of the year.
Oh yeah, definitely in competition for that title. I think Travis Green will give him a run as Ottawa's coach, who I don't think anyone really expected to put on the run that they did halfway through the season. But you gotta say Lindy Ruff is the favorite.
Yeah. Also, just a fun fact about Buffalo this season: the Sabres won their division and the Bills didn't.
That's true.
It's wild.
New England Patriots had the AFC East.
Yeah. Lindy Ruff coached Buffalo from 97 to 13 and came back in 2024.
I'll still always remember that 13. May my favorite goalie of all time, Ray Emery, rest in peace, having that fight with Montempion at the Key West Arena in upstate New York.
Nice.
It's one hockey moment I'll just never forget.
So Buffalo's playing Boston in the first round. I have Buffalo in 5 here.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Boston is a good enough team to get a win, but the Sabres have got to be favorite.
Boston, like they turned it around this year. They weren't great last year, it, and I'm very thankful for this. They had a great coach named Jim Montgomery that they fired, and of course I'm thankful for that because like a week later the Blues hired him, and I love Monty. They finished towards the bottom of the conference, if I remember right, last year though. So the fact that they're wild card one this year, they're doing some things right.
Yep.
Buffalo's a better team and a better story. So,
nice.
But shout out to the Bruins for firing Monty. I'm very thankful to you guys for that, even if I still kind of don't like you.
Very true.
So, moving down to the 2-3 matchup in the Atlantic, we have a team from down south out of Florida, the Tampa Bay Lightning, going up against a team from your home country, the Montreal Canadiens.
We should do. This is going to be the best series of the first round.
I think it's Dallas, Minnesota, but this will be fun.
Okay.
Well, if Dallas wasn't so hurt, Dallas, Minnesota would be a lock. I don't know. Dallas has people out now.
I think this one is going to be the series to watch.
Interesting.
You have a team that's gone deep for many years. You have a young, upcoming team that's just ready to win now. What's your thoughts on it?
I don't know that this is going to be close, honestly. I have Tampa in like 5 games.
Okay, interesting.
And see, I was debating 5 or 6, but Montreal's young, they're upcoming, they're fun. Tampa's just too good this year. Like, if Colorado makes it to the finals, my hope lies, and like my hope with the Avs not winning lies with Tampa Bay. Like, they're the one team out east that I have confidence in to knock the Avs off.
I'm going to agree with you on 6 games. I'm going to disagree with you, and I'm going to say it's going to be Montreal.
Interesting. So you also had Ottawa in the finals last year, though.
I did.
I'll ask you this while we're on Montreal. Other than Toronto, because I know that answer, do you tend to root for the Canadian teams when they aren't playing the Sens?
Other than Toronto or Montreal.
Oh, okay. Well,
like, I'll cheer for the Western teams, Calgary, Edmonton, Winnipeg. I mean, I won't cheer for Winnipeg when I'm visiting you last week because that would be disrespectful.
Well, I don't care.
But I know, but
I wanted to cheer
for St. Louis. It was such a great experience to be at a Blues game.
It was, and I will say, I'll talk about that a little bit. And And my vote for comeback player of the year this year would be Jonathan Toews, coming back after what everyone thought was a career-ending injury a couple years ago, right?
Yeah.
And of course, the Blues' biggest rival historically, even though there's a probably more hatred with the Avs right now, but historically, even currently, our biggest rival is Chicago. They had that early 2010s dynasty. He was their captain those years. He still
That's
got a
right.
decent round of boos at Enterprise Center when he scored
That was
this game.
hilarious. I was not expecting that at all.
I wasn't sure. I thought he might, but I thought, hey, maybe it's been long enough. But nope.
No.
I will say, those Blackhawks teams, I didn't like Taves because he was good in their captain. Fun player to watch, likable guy. I actually did like Patrick Sharp from those teams for some reason.
Nice.
But Taves and Kane, I just still root against. And Kane plays for a team I kind of like now in Detroit, and that's still weird. But
That's funny. I
like,
just laugh because every time we're doing tribal council chat, and I know that you're a big Blues fan, I see that when I'm in the recording area of my house back home, my dad, I got him when I was in Chicago, game one of the '07 final. Oh, no, not '07, that was Ottawa. 2010 or whatever. I forget. Too much of this. But the first year that Chicago played Philadelphia in the final, I got him a game used puck when I was in Chicago.
nice.
So it's always right behind the camera of where I record TCC.
Yeah, certain players in sports, when they have so much success with one team, it's weird seeing them in another jersey. Like
Is it ever?
Tom Brady never played in Tampa Bay multiple years. That never looked right to me. For example,
Yeah.
Patrick Kane in a non-Blackhawks jersey is still I don't like it.
Steven Gerrard in a Los Angeles jersey.
Yeah. Speaking of Los Angeles, their Stanley Cup winning goalie from their run in 12 and 14, Jonathan Quick, retired this week.
Yeah, what a career.
Yeah, they beat us in the first or second round a couple times, so I kind of didn't always like him, but insane goalie.
Oh, yeah.
So moving down to the Metro,
To the Metro,
we
featuring one team from the Atlantic.
we, we have the winners of the Metropolitan Division, and despite winning their division, they're a team that I feel like a lot of people just forgets they exist. The Carolina Hurricanes versus the wild card 2 Ottawa Senators.
Yep.
Isn't it weird though? Carolina's so good and they get so little attention all the time.
Oh, it's so true.
People forget they
Carolina
exist.
just isn't in a hockey market the way that most of these teams out east are.
Yeah. But they've got Aho, they've got Seth Jarvis. Their goalie Bussey seems decent, the little bit I've seen of him.
But do they have Brady Tkachuk, Tim Stutzel, and Linus Ullmark?
Olmark's been up and down this year. I don't know that that's he's good, but there's other goalies I trust more.
Yeah.
Bussey's probably not one of them, but we talked about Tampa Bay. I'd take Vasi for sure.
Yeah.
Olmark's been good lately, but he had a real bad stretch there at one point, if I remember right.
Yeah, he had a bad stretch, but then he left for personal reasons, went back to Europe, came back, and has been lights out. So
Yeah, I have you guys winning this in 7 because you're hot right
interesting.
now, but Tampa does have a better roster, I think. Not
Yeah.
Tampa,
So you have
Carolina.
Ottawa, Tampa at some point. I have us winning it too, but I have us playing elsewhere. So I'm gonna say Ottawa in 6.
Nice. So we go to our final first round matchup, and
The Battle
Philly
of
snuck
Pennsylvania.
in with the final Metro spot, the final week of the season, giving us a
Yep.
playoff matchup, Battle of Pennsylvania, which
Oh,
Like, Philly's not a super great team, but this rivalry always delivers.
this rivalry is one of the best in the league.
This is going to be such a good series.
Yeah, it will be. What's your prediction for it?
I have Pittsburgh in 6. Just, they've got the experience.
You and I have the exact same prediction.
It Philly's fun. I like their jerseys. They've got one of the funniest mascots on the internet with Gritty.
Yeah.
I just don't think like this Pittsburgh team has more talent.
I think this Pittsburgh team has more talent. This Pittsburgh team has more experience. I don't think it's going to lot take them the whole way, but I think it's going to get them past the arch rivals.
Yeah, for sure. So we move to the second round, going back to the top of the West. The matchup of the second round, I'm predicting, we have the Central 1 seed Avs versus the Central 3 seed Wild. This will be fun. Oh, I think he's frozen. Uh-oh. Well, that's interesting. So while I wait for him, I'll kind of break this down a little bit. This is going to be a fun series. Hey, we're back.
Hey, we're back. Sorry, we just froze. Like I said,
Yeah,
I'm recording on a ship, so this kind of is the best we can do.
he's recording on a ship and it's pouring outside right now. So, for me.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah, I got hail for a couple minutes earlier and it, like, absolutely wrecked one of my window screens. So,
Well, glad I'm not in Missouri at this time.
I live in Illinois.
I know that, but I mean, it's the
Oh.
same region.
Yeah, I don't know if they got the same storms I've been getting. But back to what I was saying. We're starting the second round. Back
Illinois, Blackhawks country.
it's I'm far enough between that at least the baseball fans seem split and there doesn't seem to be a ton of hockey fans.
Interesting.
Because like
I would have never.
outside of cities that have a team or those areas, like hockey's not always super popular down here in the States.
Makes sense.
Like when I went to college up in Moberly, Missouri by Columbia, there wasn't a ton of hockey fans up there.
Makes sense. I am representing your hometown with my new Cardinals hat.
I saw that. Diving into the second round, we're going back to the top of the West, and we have what I believe will be the matchup of the second round is the number 1 seeds in the Central Avs versus the Central 3 seed, the Minnesota Wild.
I agree. Best matchup of the playoffs so far.
And this this matchup's interesting because, like I said, like as much as I don't like them, Colorado's loaded. Their captain Landeskog is solid, and he's not even one of their best players. You've got Cale Makar on defense. You've got, I believe, the league leader in points, either points or goals, with Nathan MacKinnon, who's a bit of a crybaby, but that's besides the point. Martin Necas.
What is it with players from Cole Harbour, Nova Scotia, being a bit of a crybaby?
Who's the other one?
Sidney Crosby.
Oh, that's where Crosby. Okay, but no, I keep noticing it since the Olympic gold medal game. I keep noticing it with MacKinnon, and I never caught it before.
Crosby and MacKinnon grew up like 2 blocks from each other.
Well, that tracks. But like ever since the gold medal game, we're like the second the game ended, he's in the media saying, "Oh well, watch the game. Everyone saw who the better team actually was." Well, you still lost. So
yeah, I agree.
Not that he was wrong. Canada may or may not have been the better team, but MacKinnon saying that left a weird. Like I keep noticing like that crybabiness with him recently.
Yeah.
And
So what
I'm
do you got in the
purposely
series?
biased because I already don't like the Avs. I don't like their owner. They're a good team though. They've got him. They've got McCarr, who you don't hear about as much because McKinnon's having an insane season. They got
Yeah.
Martin Necas, who they got from Carolina, and when they traded away Mikko Rantanen, Valerie Nishushkin. I think I'm pronouncing that right.
What do
But
you
for
got in the
some
series?
reason, I have Minnesota picked to win this series. Like I said, the President's Trophy winner very rarely wins the cup.
Yep.
Minnesota's never looked better, and Colorado's a wagon, but they kind of have a history, other than 22, of not being able to finish the job in the playoffs.
Yeah, I agree. Actually, I have Minnesota in 6 here.
I have Minnesota in 7, but I they were already a really good team. Then they added Quinn Hughes. I'm still not happy with you for that trade, Vancouver. But like you
I
couldn't have
mean,
traded
hey,
him to any other division. Trade him to New Jersey. But
if they're beating Colorado, you should be happy.
I will be happy if they win this series. But my Blues have to deal with Minnesota as a divisional opponent. And
Fair
Vancouver
enough.
actively made that harder for me. Us.
That's
Them.
true.
I don't play. No, this might be the series of the playoffs, honestly.
Yo, I agree.
In the other Western Conference second round series, the top seed in the Pacific, Vegas Golden Knights, the 2 seed in the Pacific, Edmonton Oilers. Who you got?
Um, Vegas in 5.
I have Vegas too. I didn't write down a game number. I filled my bracket out on the NHL's website,
Nice.
and they only asked me for amount of games for the first round for some reason. Edmonton just isn't the team they've been the last couple of years. I think going to back to
Gotcha.
back finals has worn on them.
Real, this way you will be. Yeah, that's exactly it. I don't think Edmonton is. Edmonton has the best player in the league. I don't think they're as defensively sound as some other teams. And I'm going to go through Vegas here to advance to the final, or to the conference final against Minnesota.
Yeah. They've got McDavid, they've got Draisaitl, but the thing is, they have the same issue they've had the last couple playoffs, which is goaltending. And
Yeah.
last year they had Stuart Skinner and Calvin Pickard, and everyone knew they needed to make a trade for a goalie and like improve that. And what do? They make a trade with Pittsburgh and swap Stuart Skinner for Tristan Jarry, who's just Stuart Skinner in a different font.
Exactly.
Like Tristan Jarry is still an issue. Like he doesn't fix their goaltending issue.
Yeah.
And Vegas just has a deeper roster.
Let's go east.
But yeah, so in the East second round, but I have Buffalo and Tampa, you have Buffalo and Montreal.
Yep.
Let's share yours first. Who's winning Buffalo and Montreal?
Once again, the Coast City is gonna come true. Montreal in 6 games.
Yeah.
I don't think that Buffalo is gonna get to a final. They've had an amazing season. They have something to build on. But like the fellow upstate New Yorkers in the Buffalo Bills, they're gonna just come short. It's Montreal Canadiens going to the Eastern Conference Finals.
And I have Tampa going to the Eastern Conference Finals. They they've got Kucherov, who's gonna be in the MVP conversation. I'd give it to Celebrini, but Kucherov could very well win it, and I wouldn't be upset.
Yep.
Goaltending wise, they might have the best goalie in the Eastern Conference or league with Andrei Vasilevsky. And like they've built around those guys. Tampa's really solid, so they're moving on here.
Agreed. Going to the next round, you have. Oh, I think we both have Um, Ottawa, Pittsburgh.
Yeah, this was hard for me. I was going back and forth. I honestly, it came down to one of these two teams has a ton more experience in the playoffs. Playoff hockey is not the same thing as regular season hockey. Pittsburgh has done this a ton of times before.
That's true.
So
Pittsburgh's also very old.
they are. Crosby and Letang and Malkin are like 1,000 years old each. But Sid is still producing though, which is crazy.
I'm going for the Sens in 5.
Speaking of players that are old, I gave you a heads up I'd be asking you a non-playoff question. When you think of Crosby, there's one player throughout his career that's kind of his biggest rival as players, right?
Alexander Ovechkin, the best Russian player to ever live.
All-time leading goal scorer, the Great Eight. You've probably seen it swirling on the internet a ton lately. The Capitals missed the playoffs this year, so they play, which is crazy. They were the second best team in the league last season.
Yep.
And the President's Trophy winners from last year, Winnipeg, also missed. But the Capitals finished their season this week. And the question I'm going to ask you that I've been seeing asked everywhere, was that Ovi's last game?
I agree. I think it was.
I'm 50-50, honestly. And I know that's not a definitive answer. Neither result would surprise me.
Uh,
Like, I I'm
so
interested
who
to
you
see what
got, Ottawa,
happens.
Pittsburgh?
Do what?
Who do you got, Ottawa, Pittsburgh?
Oh, I said Pittsburgh.
Okay. So
Experience.
you have a Pittsburgh Tampa All-American Eastern Final. I have an Ottawa Montreal All Canadian Eastern Final.
I have an All-American Eastern and Western final.
Well, that was given.
Yeah. I mean, hey, we've won the cup the last 30 whatever years. So,
Interesting.
I'm trying to think. I think the Canadians were the last Canadian cup somewhere in the 90s.
1993, Montreal Canadiens.
Yeah, so American teams have won the cup the last 33 years. I see that trend continuing. It's Canadian players on those teams, but forget that part. America keeps winning the cup. It's
That's
ours
right.
now.
Oh.
Don't look up where the players on those teams are from, because then my argument of the cup being ours starts to fall apart. But
I can tell you where has never won a cup. Viva Mexico!
nice. I couldn't see it. I just saw a sea of black, but because it's nighttime.
Well, there's the Cancun Hotel Zone skyline is passing by me in the distance.
Oh, nice. But yeah,
We'll be recording Tribal Council chat from there in September.
okay, sounds good. Forgot what I would. Oh, yeah. So I do have both conferences with an All-American final. Maybe this is the year you guys break the streak, though. Maybe I'm wrong.
And I have a Western All-American, but I guarantee with my final that there'll be one Canadian team advancing to the Stanley Cup final.
Yeah. So let's go out west. We have the same matchup. It's Vegas, who's been here a ton of times. It's Minnesota, who hasn't, but has a better roster. And it's
much
been hot
better
lately.
roster.
I've got Minnesota winning the West.
This is the team to beat. I'm going for the Wild in 5 games.
Wow, 5. I'm going back and forth between 6 and 7, but
nice.
Wild over Vegas. They're so good right now. If they get past Colorado, then no one in the West is beating them.
Yeah. I agree.
In the East, Tampa, Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's got the experience. Tampa also has a ton of playoff experience. and has better goaltending. And probably, I think you look at the stars, Kucherov has been better than Crosby this year. So I
Yep.
have Tampa going to the finals here.
Interesting. So you have Tampa in how many?
I don't know. 6, I'll say. That's it.
All right, you'll say Tampa in 6 over Pittsburgh. I have Ottawa, Montreal, and I'm gonna go Ottawa in 6.
Oh, 2 years in a row, you predict your team to go to the finals. Hopefully, you're right
I
this
sure
time.
do. Hopefully, I'm right this time, but last time we were maybe a little overdone. This time, you're looking at a young team that was, what's the word? A little ran into some challenges this season, and that's the only reason they're sitting in the spot that they are. Ottawa really should be a top 1-2 team in the East if they didn't have some injury problems and some player issues that were resolved between the Olympics and now.
Hey, you're the best team in Ontario.
We are the best team in Ontario. Leafs suck.
I will say, I've mentioned to our audience that I want to come up there and visit you, and you've heard this, they haven't. If I can't make it
Yep.
for the Blues, my second plan is see if I can make it up there for one of the Battle of Ontario games in Ottawa. So
Yep, that would be fun.
I assume those tickets are harder to get, but we'll see.
Not harder to get, but it can be done in Ottawa. In
Yeah.
Toronto, they're really hard to get.
I know, like with Blues games, games against the Hawks tend to sell quicker or be harder to get.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I'll make it up. I really don't care who the opponent is. I'll make it up there. But
Oh, yeah.
those are my top two preferences: are the Blues or Leafs.
My family and I can't wait to have you up here. Well, up there because I'm in Mexico right now.
Even if it's not the Blues or Leafs, like the Leafs would be fun because I just want to see the rivalry atmosphere. I've been to Blues Hawks. I want to see your version of that.
Yeah, that'd be so much fun.
But yeah, so I have a Minnesota Tampa final. You have Minnesota Ottawa. Who's winning your final?
I hate to say it, but it's going to be the Minnesota Wild in 5.
Wow. I've got the
Minnesota, I
Tampa.
think, is just a perfect team to win it this year.
I've got Tampa Bay in 6.
Shout out to one of our favorite players, Eva Eriksson. Her Wild, I think, are going to lift the cup.
Who I normally don't like the Wild, but they're on my bandwagon. I'm on is anyone but the Avs, and the Wild fit into that. So
Yep.
the only way I end these playoffs not happy with the Cup champion is if one team wins it. Now that team happens to be the favorite and have been the best team all year. But I'm really banking on that whole President's Trophy curse thing.
Yep.
Colorado does have a good shot at winning, admittedly, though.
Do they ever?
And like their
But
fans
it'll
are
be
already
something to
kind of
see.
insufferable, at least the online ones. If you're an Avs fan and you listen to our show, I'm not talking about you. You're probably delightful. But the Reddit and
Yeah.
Instagram ones, and kind of Twitter, but I don't see them as much on Twitter. It's just it's the rivalry. I don't like them. They don't like us. So, but I think Tampa's riding Vasilevsky and Kucherov to a third cup since 2020.
Nice. Well, that was a fun episode. We will see how it goes. I will enjoy the first game in Mexico, but then I'll be back in Canada before game 2.
Yeah.
And can we say grab your sticks and head back to camp?
Head back to the locker room. Bye, everyone.
Bye.